Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to your second C++ tutorial. And today we're going to be doing a classical program that will basically get you guys a little bit into the code and the coding, get you familiar with the syntax a little bit. So as you remember from my last tutorial, you had to install a compiler. Now I told you guys you can install dev C++. You guys could install anything you want. Visual Studio, Quincy, anything you want. Doesn't matter, as long as you install any kind of IDE. So I'm going to be using dev C++. So after you guys downloaded it, installed it, and you run it, you get this window here. So what you want to do next is create a new source file. So you would click File, New, Source File, just like that, and you get this little tab in this little window here. So you're going to be inputting all your code in this window here. Okay, so I would first thing you want to do is save it. The reason why is because I'm gonna save it right here under. I'm just gonna go ahead and save it as just gonna save it as tutorial 2 C++. You guys won't get this message. This just says that I already have the file, but anyway, I encourage you guys to save it first. Is because the reason why is because it won't let you compile if you don't have your source file saved. So basically, always save before you compile. I'll explain what compile is later, but let's get started first. So the first thing you want to do when you write a program is include the preprocessor directives. Now you do that by typing include IOStream, like that. Now what this is a preprocessor directive, and what it does, it basically includes this file, IOStream. This file contains a lot of stuff that you need for programming. It contains a lot of declarations, and I'll go over what declarations are later, that you need when you're programming. Basically, this simplifies programming a lot, so you want to include this. Next thing you do is type using namespace std. And what this is basically, just to put it very simply, it also simplifies programming. It just simplifies it. Yet you basically have to write a little bit less, because if you didn't include this, you would have to, always write. Basically, you would have to write std before each command, but including this, you just write the command itself. You don't really worry about it if you don't get it. It's fine. It's not really important right now. But let's go ahead and make this classical program that it's world famous. Everybody knows this. So after you include these two things, you want to write int main and parentheses. And what this is, it's a function. I'll go over functions later, so don't worry if you don't really understand it right now, but just so you guys know, this is the main function. And the way you can tell there's a function is because it has these little things here, parentheses, and because after that we're going to put these kind of parentheses. So this is how you know it's a function. It's a main function, so this is basically where the main part of the program is going to be at. So after this, after you put in main, you go ahead and write cout. Cout is also a function, but as you noticed, it doesn't have these little parentheses here, and that's fine. But it is defined as sort of like a function that outputs stuff on your screen. Okay, and after that C out, you want to put these two things. Now what these are, they're called the output stream operator, and they basically do the actual action of putting stuff on the screen. So together, C out and the output stream operator basically tells the computer that anything that you put after this to output on the screen in your program. So let's go ahead and so anything after you put here is going to be output on the screen. But if you want to put something that's going to be literally outputted on the screen, you want to put them inside quotation marks. So basically, everything that you type between these two quotation marks are going to be on the screen. So we're going to put hello, world. So when we run our program, this is what's going to be on the screen. It's going to say hello world. It's going to be this little 2 words. And after that, you want to put another output stream operator and end L. Now, end L stands for end line, or it means end line, and what it is basically just like hitting the return or the enter key whenever you're typing in a text editing software. Whenever you're in like Microsoft Word or something like that, you want a new line, press enter or return, and that's what this basically does. This basically creates a new line. It basically puts everything that's after this here, after everything that's after this here on the new line. That's what endl does. So, oh, and one more thing, you might have noticed that I typed these semicolons here. This is very important. You do not want to miss this. This is required whenever you're typing statements. The reason why is because these semicolons tell the computer that this is where my command ends. This is where my statement ends. So this is like the end, kind of like the punctuation, like the end of the sentence. This is where it ends, and the next command is going to be like on the next line. So it's very important that you put these here. Do not miss them, because if you miss these, your program will not compile. Okay, so you want to remember to always put semicolons at the end of your statements. Okay, so let's keep on going. Next thing you want to do is type system parentheses, and in between the parentheses you want to put 2 quotation marks, and between those quotation marks put pause, and don't forget the semicolon. What this is going to do is basically going to tell the computer to pause the screen of the program. Basically, if we didn't have this, the program window would just flash really quick and go away really quickly. It would just pop out and pop and go away really quickly. It would just flash and that's it. But what this thing does, it tells the computer that, you know what, we need to pause this screen, the program window screen on the actual computer screen, so we can take a look at it. So that's what that does. It basically pauses the program so it doesn't disappear very quickly. You can go ahead and you can test, it will still run and compile without this thing, but it'll just flash really quickly. And you can, after we do this program, you can test, see what it's like when you take this thing out. And yeah, so next thing you want to do is write return 0. What this does is basically tell the computer that we executed this program correctly and everything's fine. It basically tells the computer that this program executed correctly. So this is the classical first program. Let's go ahead and save it first, and then try to compile and run. Now what compile does is it turns the source code that we have here into an actual executable program. So that's what it does. So we want to compile it, and then we want to run it. So click compile and run, and there you go. There's our first program. Hello world. There you go. So that was our first classical program. Stick around, keep on watching my tutorials, and maybe you'll learn more in C++. But thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe. See you guys later.